So I recently moved away for school, away from my family and friends. A few weeks ago, my friends from home came to visit me because their school had a long weekend or something like that. So they rented out an Airbnb near my school and we hung out a lot during that weekend. But their last night here before they were going to go back was when this whole thing happened. Okay, so a little context. I don't have any problems with money whatsoever. In fact, I even chipped in for their Airbnb payment because they asked me for help prior. Only one of my friends works, so they're all trying to be frugal on this trip, which I completely understand. However, this night at dinner, they all decided they wanted to go to this really fancy restaurant. I'd never been there, but I heard it was a nice place, so I skipped out on lunch to really indulge in the food there. So we arrived there, and immediately my friends are saying how they're only going to order appetizers and drinks, because the mains were quite expensive, around $30-40 and higher. Then I tell them I'm going to order a lot of stuff because I had barely eaten that day. I ended up getting a ribeye, $78, and 3 appetizers, fries, $12, mac and cheese, $16, and a cheese board, $20. I specifically said that we could share the cheese board because I didn't think I could finish it all. Just the cheese board, that's important. All my friends order an appetizer or starter each for themselves, and when the food comes out, they finish theirs quite quickly. I took my time working on my steak, but then they all started eating the appetizers I had ordered. I barely had a quarter of my mac and cheese left, and I think I got like 8 fries. They didn't even give me any of the cheese from the cheese board because, and I quote, the mac and cheese had cheese in it already. Huh? Mind you, they had also ordered drinks for themselves, which were around $15 each. So at this point, I was getting upset already. The waitress comes and asks if we're splitting the bill, and before any of them could answer, I said to split the appetizers among all 4 of us. After the waitress left, I could tell the vibe had shifted. They were no longer joking around much, and the conversation seemed a bit strained. We still said goodbye to each other in a friendly manner, but as the weeks go by after they left, I noticed my friends had stopped contacting me as much as they used to. I texted one of them that I was closest to, and they told me that they were kind of pissed that I split the appetizers that I had ordered when they specifically said they didn't want to spend that much. So, that kind of made me feel bad because I didn't mean for there to be any conflict during their trip here as they came all the way to see me, and now I'm thinking I should have just paid for it. Am I the idiot? Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Everyone sucks here. I'm going to be honest. I don't really believe that you made it clear what you intended when you ordered a main dish and 6 other things. I think it would have looked really bad to say to your financially limited friends at a nice restaurant that you want to order more food than all the rest of them put together and eat all of it yourself, even if you were sharing one other thing. And I'll note, you didn't say anything about them eating food that was supposedly for you, and you don't say that you ordered or considered ordering more food because so much of yours was eaten by your friends. So, I think you created a circumstance where your friends believed they were being treated to some nice food, and then surprised them by telling the waitress that the bill was to be shared. That said, even given this interpretation, your friends were rude. Even with an understandable impression that they were being treated, they should have clarified before eating any of the food if it wasn't crystal clear. And they should have thanked you even before the food arrived, and they should not have eaten every bite of any of the things you were supposedly generously providing to the table. And given that they did none of those things, they should have taken your telling the waitress to split the bill as a moment to realize they had misunderstood. And they should have been gracious about it, because even if you do treat them to anything, they should not take it for granted or hold it against you if you put limits on that kind of thing. Comment 2. Everyone sucks here. They shouldn't have dug into your food without asking you if it was okay first. If they wanted to share the food, they should expect to pitch in for what they ate. You knew they couldn't afford a lot of food, so your choice was to get a bunch of food so that they could do what exactly? Sit there and watch you eat 4x the food as the rest of them? Order an app and go back and get the full spread on your own time. What they did was rude, as was what you did. Comment 3. Everyone sucks here. They should have picked a place everyone could afford, and they shouldn't have eaten your food. You should have ordered in the same range as the rest of the table. No one wants to watch you eat an $1.80 steak while they eat their side salad. At the end of the day, they made a big effort to come see you. You chose being right over being a gracious friend. You weren't wrong, but I hope you enjoy being right all alone. Now for the next story. Our family does not have anything that requires a full-size truck. We don't haul anything, we don't camp, we do not own a trailer. We have zero reason to own a $100,000 truck, other than my husband really wanted it. It was in our budget, and he was adamant that it was what he wanted. We have 3 kids. Our oldest is 17, our daughter is 15, and our awesome surprise baby is 2. Not planned, but a joy to be sure. We never take the baby anywhere in the truck. My husband keeps it pristine. My son has a Jetta that he purchased with help from us and his grandparents. It is a reliable car, but it is not in great shape. I have a Porsche Cayenne that is our family vehicle. The back seat has the usual stains from the baby. That's life. Well, my husband recently got a promotion and he has to go downtown twice a week now. He tried driving his truck, but it won't fit in the parking garage at his office. He had to park a block away at a surface lot where hooligans and ne'er-do-wells might harm it. He asked me if he could use my car on the days he goes into work. I said that would not be a problem. He just had to put the car seat in the truck so I could drive with the baby. Nope. He wanted me to drive our son's car and chauffeur the older kids and not touch his truck. I declined his generous offer and told him my car was off limits because I needed it for myself. So now he has had to borrow our son's Jetta because his only other option is public transportation. He could afford to Uber in, but he doesn't want to do that either. He says I'm being a jerk, not letting him use my car, but I think he's being unreasonable about his truck. Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. There are 3 cars, a cheap one for the son, a family one that is needed to transport the younger children, and the one your husband chose and bought to use for himself. We have to be responsible for our own choices sometimes. Why should you or the children suffer because he chose an inappropriate vehicle? He's a silly arse who wanted his shiny big toy, can't stand the thought of anyone else touching it, and didn't give a care about practicalities like fuel consumption, cost, emissions, or being able to park the bloody thing so it could be used for work. Doesn't sound like that's your fault. Comment 2. Not the idiot, and he is absolutely being unreasonable about his pseudo-weenie midlife crisis. Also, it's not fair that your son loses his car without dad at minimum filling the tank when he's done. Comment 3. We have 0 reason to own a $100,000 truck, other than my husband really wanted it. He got what he wanted. Not your fault he didn't think things through. Not the idiot. Now for the next story. My wife and I have been together for 12 years, and ever since I met her, she has had a tentative grip on time management. This has always been a bit of a pain point in our relationship, as I really value punctuality. Through many discussions and fights over the years, we have largely decided to leave the topic alone and to do our best to be understanding of each other's perspectives. That doesn't mean that she does any better being punctual, though. This has always irked me a bit, as I think it's disrespectful and rude to be late, but I don't want constant conflict with my wife, so I do my best to not bring it up. I'm getting ready to start work again, after being away for a year to support our little ones abroad while my wife completed her master's degree. While my work offers some flexibility with the start time, I need to start before 8 a.m. Leading up to my first day, I've wanted to practice getting the kids to daycare at a time that allows me to make it to work before 8 a.m. So I set my expectations that we need to leave by 7:10 a.m. I told the kids this and my wife this, and there was no protest. My kids are adjusting fine to this change. They're tired and a little grumpy, but they go along with it. But my wife, on the other hand, has fought this at every step. Every morning it seems that there is some excuse. You didn't give me a 5-minute warning. It's not that important since you're not working yet. I needed to shower. While she is usually only about 15, 20 minutes late, it is enough that I hit worse traffic and am unable to make it to work on time. I do everything I can to expedite things in the morning, waking up, feeding, and dressing the kids. But she still can't get herself ready in time to leave. I find this extremely frustrating and disrespectful. Sure, I'm not back at work for a few days, but I really wanted to get this routine down before I need to do it for real. I'm anxious about starting work again, and this has only added to my anxiety. I remind my wife, sometimes fairly assertively, most mornings about the 7:10 drop dead time being important to me, and how I find it disrespectful that she isn't ready by then. This usually leads to an argument and hard feelings. I don't feel that I should give in on this, though. I think she is being narcissistic by not supporting me with this, and I think she is wrong. While I don't want to argue with her, I need her to help me out so I can be on time. Am I the jerk? Edit 1. My wife needs to be ready for 7:10 because she sometimes rides along with us in the morning. Even if she isn't riding along, she likes to help get the kids ready in the morning, and the kids demand to see her in the morning. She doesn't respect the 7:10 departure time when she is helping, though. Edit 2. We have a good, healthy relationship. We are both good communicators and try to respect each other's unique perspectives. This specific issue seems to bring out the worst in both of us, though. Now here are the comments. Comment 1. I think she is being narcissistic by not supporting me with this. I don't think it's a question of narcissism. Your wife obviously has problems managing her time. You've already tried to help her and you can't be late for work or take the kids to school late because of her. Next time, warn her that you'll be leaving without her when she wakes up and tell her the time 5 minutes before leaving. If she's not ready on time, you leave. And you do it every morning. Incidentally, your wife may suffer from ADHD. It's a possibility she can consider if she wants to be diagnosed someday. Not the idiot. Comment 2. Everyone sucks here. This is obviously very important to you, and so your wife should be willing to support you. But it sounds like you also already had a feeling this was going to be a disaster. Stop hounding her. She's an adult. You know you need to leave at 7:10. Leave at 7:10. If she's not ready to leave with you, she gets left behind. If the kids aren't ready to leave with you, they get left behind with her. She's an adult, and she will figure it out. If she doesn't like having to figure it out, she will start getting up earlier and helping you get your kids ready. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Poor punctuality and bad timekeeping are my bugbear as well. I also believe being late is rude and disrespectful. If she is being difficult about this, I would tell her getting the kids to childcare will be her responsibility, and you will only be responsible for getting yourself to work, and you will be leaving at a certain time regardless of her and the kids. Now, for the next story. After a very tough pregnancy, my 25-year-old sister gave birth to my nephew. He was premature by over 8 weeks, but recently came home healthy. We lived together with my parents while we finished grad school. I, a 24-year-old male, have always had a pretty strong aversion to kids, even when I was one. I'm told I avoided my newborn cousin when I was 4. Anyway, I don't like kids. My sister obviously has the kid at dinner, or when my family sits together, and sometimes pushes a stroller behind me when I walk the family dogs. This is all fine, but she keeps trying to get me to hold him, tickle him, etc., and I really don't feel comfortable about it. She even recently put him next to me in my bed while I was sleeping and was taking pictures of it. I tried to tell her I really don't want to be touching the kid and that I just get very skeeved out about it. She got pissed, told my parents, and my mom told me I had to go to a psychiatrist to talk about it because not wanting to touch or be around your nephew is unhealthy. Am I the idiot for this? Additional info that may or may not matter. I recently got tested, and it's highly likely I'm autistic. I also don't feel any love or attachment to the baby. I don't hate him, I just feel nothing besides mildly grossed out by him. Info. I refer to the kid as the kid because this is an anonymous post. I refer to him by his name in all other situations. Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your mother and sister are the ones crossing boundaries here. Maybe they need to talk to their psychiatrist as to why they think they need to force you to hold a child you clearly are uncomfortable spending time with. Will you be in a position to move out soon? When do you finish school? You're caught between a bit of a rock and a hard place because I can't see your mother and sister backing down here because it's your mother's house. They are very much in the wrong, but they will push it. Comment 2. Not the idiot. This is exactly how I feel about children. This Reddit has now started a 30-minute argument between my partner and me because he thinks I'm insane for being grossed out by babies and thinking there's nothing wrong with you. Don't worry, he is the insane one. There's nothing wrong with you. Kids under 8 are seriously gross. Comment 3. Not the idiot. I had 4 kids and I'm always shocked when I see questions like this. No parent should be okay passing their children and infants to people who do not want to hold them. It doesn't matter why they are declining. If they don't want to hold your child, you shouldn't want them to hold your child. Now, for the next story. My 71-year-old mother is getting remarried quite suddenly to a man she hasn't known long, about 6 months. Since it's not either's first marriage, they're getting married at the courthouse on a weekday. The date she chose happened to be my own wedding anniversary, even though she knew it was my anniversary. It'll be my 21st anniversary when she gets married. When my husband found out, he became angry and asked why she stole our day. Don't get me wrong, I'd prefer it if she had chosen a different day too, but I'm not going to get worked up about it. He is not going to the wedding, and he is saying he will never talk to her again over this. I don't know what that means for holidays, birthdays, things like that, but I'll cross that bridge some other time. I also feel like we should not be avoiding her and her new husband. We should be over there all the time to make sure Mom's okay. I told him I was upset about the day she chose too, but that we don't own that day. Am I the idiot for saying that? Our anniversary holds special meaning to us, but I wouldn't expect others to treat that day special. Edit. My husband and my mother have always gotten along. They are both lovely people. I did tell my mother that one of the days she had to choose from was my anniversary, and my husband did take me out for a very nice evening for our anniversary. Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Unpopular opinion, but you're the idiot. The comments and replies I've read made it sound like OP's husband and mother do not get along. I doubt someone who has been married for 21 years would get that upset over something so minor if it wasn't built up over time. So to me, it seems like the mother is intentionally trying to antagonize OP's husband, and her not backing him up undermines their own relationship. I had a courthouse wedding. There are stipulations on when they do them. The thing is, if one courthouse doesn't match your schedule, you can go to another if there are more in your area. My city has 5 that I know of, and only one had a slot around the time my wife and I wanted. Also, if it's something important to a family member, it isn't hard to compromise and change the when. I'd have been so okay with waiting a week or two if that made a world of difference to someone we cared about. So overall, I think you're the idiot, not because they own the day, but because by not supporting the husband, OP is, by default, supporting the mother, who sounds kind of obnoxious at best. Comment 2. Info, please. 2 of your comments kind of indicate what the issue is. She had 4 dates from which to choose. You just wish she and your husband would get along, I'm assuming, and tell me if I'm wrong. Your mom and your husband don't have a great relationship. And because she didn't choose one of the other 3 dates that were available, your husband is annoyed and hurt she's taking your day from you. Is this correct? Comment 3. Look, I wouldn't make a big deal about it in your position, but I find it weird that she chose your anniversary out of those 4 dates. It's weird. TBH, getting married this week is hugely concerning. Have you talked to your mom about a prenup? Has she made any move to secure her assets? Seriously. You're the idiot if you don't make sure she secure herself as best she can. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.